Okay guys, in this video I am going to be planting Fairy Morris vegetable seeds and American seed vegetable seeds that I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to plant just a few of them so that I can compare them and see how they grow compared to each other. The Fairy Morris, as you can see, was $1.58 a pack, and the American seed brand was $4 for $1 at Dollar Tree. So we'll see how these work out. Okay, so I've gotten a late start to my gardening this year, and I'm going to start off with some greenhouse starter kits. These are the Jiffy seed starting greenhouse kits that I got from Walmart. I got 2 of them. I'm going to get my seeds in today. I'm going to just follow the directions that are on the package. So it's nothing really complicated. It's basically getting the pods wet. They're going to swell up. I'm going to put the seeds in and just follow the directions. I got 2 separate kits specifically because I want to do a comparison of some seeds. Remember when I got those seeds from the Dollar Tree, the American seed brand? I am going to plant some of these to see how they grow and produce compared to my go-to is Fairy Morris. So I've got some Fairy Morris peppers. I have some Fairy Morris broccoli. I have some Fairy Morris, the yellow summer squash. And I also have the Fairy Morris cabbage that I'm going to plant and compare to the American seed brand Spanish peppers. Is that what that is? It's a Spanish variety pepper. And then I've got some broccoli. I have summer squash and cabbage. Now, they are not exact, okay? This is a crooked neck summer squash that I'm planting from Fairy Morris. And this here is the straight neck early yellow squash. So no, they're not identical, but they're close enough for me to do a comparison. So I'm going to plant those and mark them so that I'll know what's what. And then I have some other vegetable seeds that I got to get started as well. So this will not be it, but these are what I will be comparing just to see how things go compared to, you know, seeds that you get basically for $1 a pack because they're $4 for $1 at Dollar Tree. You see that? That is what I paid for them versus some seeds that I got from, I don't know where I got these from, but they were average, I guess, $1.59 a pack, $1.58 a pack. So I know you get a few less with the American seed brand, but I just want to see, do they grow? Will they grow and give me some quality vegetables? So I'm going to get this started and I will check back in with you in a minute. Okay, so I just opened up these American seed brand cabbage seed packets, and for $1 you actually get a fairly decent amount. I don't have a tripod out here, so I can't pour it out in my hand and show you exactly what's in there, but it's a decent amount. I'm guesstimating probably about 50 or more seeds. I'll let you know in just a minute, okay? Okay, so I dropped a few, but there are right at about 56 seeds in this pack, so that's pretty good for $1. So I just dropped like 3 or 4 down in here, and I'm just going to use the tip of this tag to get the seed just under the dirt. So when I water it, it doesn't get washed away. I already did that one. This one didn't open up quite as much, but the seeds are definitely in there. So I'm just trying to stir it to make sure that it does, at least one of them takes. But I have like 3, some of these have 4 in them. Okay. And the lid is not going to cover this standing upright. So I'm going to actually just lay this tag sideways just behind the row. So I'll know that this row is my American seed American seed cabbage, okay? That's what this row is. And then I'm just gonna do each row, and I'll get these all planted or seeded, and then I'll move over to the next one with the Fairy Moore's brand seeds. Now, so far I have my cabbage in this row. I have 2 squash, 2 of the yellow summer squash, 2 zucchini, 1 pepper, because we use a lot of peppers, so I figure more peppers will be fine. This row is all peppers. This row is broccoli. So those are the ones that I'm going to compare to the Fairy Moore's, and I need to stir this up a little bit better so that it's got dirt over it. But those are the ones that I'm going to compare to the Fairy Moore's over in the next tray. But what I'm also going to plant that I got from Dollar Tree, which is the American Seed brand, I'm going to plant these Swiss chard. I've never grown them. I don't think I've ever eaten it, but I'm going to plant it in that last row just to see how it does. Now I am going to plant some bell pepper seeds that are actually from the bell peppers that we grew last year. I did not buy any bell peppers this year as far as seeds are concerned. So I've got these seeds that I got from the plants last year. I'm going to put them in these last 2 pods, and we will see how those grow. Okay, so I have everything planted that or seeded that I'm going to use in these starter pot things. So this is the side that, or the tray I should say, that has all of the seeds that I bought from the Dollar Tree. I've got the cabbage, which the AS means American seed. So I have a row of cabbage. This row actually has 2 pods of squash, 2 pods of zucchini, 1 pepper. This row is all pepper. This row is all broccoli. And then this row is the Swiss chard, which I have never grown before. Okay, so this tray are the Fairy Moore's seeds, with the exception of the bell peppers back here. So for this row I have all cabbage, and for this row I have 2 of the yellow squash, then I have 3 cucumbers. Okay, so this row, these are all hot peppers. This row is all broccoli. This row are pimento peppers. I'm not familiar with the name, but it was an open pack of seeds, so I assume I grew them at one time or another. But I have 2 pods with those seeds in it. And then for this one back here, this is actually yellow bush beans, and I got them from the Dollar Tree. They are the AS brand. I won't get confused as to where I got them from, because they are the only what are they, Cherokee wax yellow bush. So they're the only beans that I have that are yellow, or are supposed to be yellow anyways. And then these back here are those bell peppers that I saved from plants that grew last year. When I cut the bell peppers open, I saved some of the seeds, let them dry out for a couple of days just to make sure that they were dry enough to where they don't mold when I put them in the plastic baggie. And I say I let them dry out for a few days. I probably actually let them sit out for about a couple of weeks, because I did want to make sure that they were dry. So now I have all of my seeds in these starter kits. I'm going to water them one more time. I will put the lids on, and I'm just going to sit them to the side in a sunny area so that they can start germinating, and let's see if we could get some vegetables growing. And another thing I failed to mention, if you decide to buy these little starter box kits with the pods that you put your seeds in, this pack, these 2 actually came with this pack of Super Thrive in each one, and it does come with tags so that you can label your plants. I like these here. That's just me. But I don't use this super vitamin for seedlings. I'm honestly scared of them. I don't know what it is, and I'm good. I've not had a problem growing vegetables without adding extra vitamins to it, so we're just going to leave well enough alone. So I had to run back in the house real quick because I need to figure out what on earth I did with my tomato seeds. Hold on. That's like the main thing that we focus on growing. I found some of them. What are these? These are some Brady Wine tomatoes. Those grow nice and juicy. And I know I have some more tomato seeds. So I'm going to find my tomato seeds and I'm going to get those planted in a completely separate pot, okay? Okay, I found my tomato seeds. I have the Brandywine and I have the beefsteak tomatoes. And these beefsteak tomatoes, I did grow some of them last year, and they actually grew better than the starters that we bought at the nursery. And I'll tell you, speaking of nurseries, if you ever buy starter plants from the nursery and you plan on buying, starting your own the next year or whatever, save these little containers as long as you know they're in fairly decent shape, so that you know you can actually fill it up with your own dirt, start your seeds your next season, and save a little bit of money. So I'm going to plant 3 rows of the beefsteak, 3 rows of the Brandywine, and we'll see how they go. Okay, so over here I have the beefsteak tomatoes. Those seeds are in there, and the Brandywine tomatoes. Those seeds are in there. So those 3 sections in the back there, those are the beefsteak. These 3 sections are the Brandywine. Now for this other little starter tray that I saved and added dirt to, I'm gonna do all okra, okay? These are my okra seeds, and I actually just saved these seeds. We grew okra a couple summers ago from seeds that my neighbor gave us, and they did very well. We saved the seeds off of some of the old plants that we let dry out, and we don't buy okra seeds at all. Once you have an okra plant growing, and you let the seeds dry out at the end of your season, you know, just let a couple of the plants be so that the plant, those little white balls actually turn into the hard seeds. You don't have to keep buying okra seeds over and over again. And for the most part, most of the things that you grow in your garden, once you start growing them, you can let them go to seed at the end of season and save the seeds so you can grow them again next season. You don't have to keep buying starter plants or buying seeds. I just kind of got into this little loop where I wanted to try a bunch of different types of vegetables, and so I bought a bunch of different types of seeds along with other seeds that, you know, I knew I like growing. Like the tomato. I don't know why I keep buying tomato seeds instead of just letting a couple of tomatoes dry out and then growing them from the seeds. That's something that I will have to try to do this year. But I'm going to get these here okra seeds planted and go from there. Okay, so I have all of these seedlings put in their little pots or pods. I put my trays inside this old fire pit because I have a lid that I can actually cover it up so that our puppy doesn't get into it, because she's still in that phase where she wants to tear stuff up and we have to kind of restrict where we let her go or get access to. So we've got the peas are in the middle, jalapeno peppers are here, and I've got some green beans planted here. Then I've got the Brandywine tomatoes, the beefsteak tomatoes, 3 sections of each. Then this whole tray is all okra, and these are the trays, the starter trays that I am using to compare the growth of the seeds I got from the Dollar Tree versus the seeds that are Fairy Morris brand. So that is my start on my seedlings for this season, and I will keep you all updated. Thanks for watching. And just an extra side note, I did put the lids back on the pods that have the starter seeds in it with that Jiffy setup. So yes, I will be keeping the lids on it and just taking it off every day so I could check on the progress and water as needed. Alrighty.